Thanks again, everybody, for joining us for our Workshop Wednesday. For this session, we are going to be going over our 5.13 next release. So we're going to be going over important details information about that release. So there's going to be a lot of really good information. Before we jump into that, we've got some house cleaning to work on. So we'll go through those really quick as well. So first, our Workshop Wednesdays, we do these monthly, the third Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We really appreciate feedback. So that feedback is needed so that we can identify topics for these monthly webinars. When we get to the end, there'll be a chance for you to share your feedback and information with the QR code. And if you could do that for us, that would be very, very helpful to help guide us in the material and information that you would like to see in these sessions moving forward. So some housekeeping before we begin. This webinar is being recorded. Your mic will be muted during the webinar. But you will see a chat box. And then this recording will be available on our YouTube channel, and a copy of the slides will be provided within a couple business days of the presentation being completed. While you will be muted, we do want to hear your feedback and your questions. For this specific webinar, there's a lot of information for us to go over and discuss, but we do want to hear your questions. So if you can use the chat icon that's at the top of your screen, and then make sure that when you fill out that chat icon, you give us your name and the company that you work for so that we can best answer your question. And if for some reason there's a need for us to follow up with you after the presentation, we have the information that we need to be able to do that as well. All right, so your presenters today, we have Kathy Willick. She's our Senior Director of Client Success. She's going to be helping me as we flip through the content today. And then my name's Kristen Sonderman. I'm the Senior Client Success Manager here at Agile Fleet. So we round out the Client Success team here to provide support to help you guys on your journey and make you as efficient as possible while using our tool and resource. So the agenda that we have today, we're gonna, like I said, we're going over the 5.13 new release. We're gonna give some background on where we're at. Then we're gonna jump into the .NET settings. Some of the stuff that we're gonna cover over that is the user search changes, make reservation changes, layout changes, and there's some miscellaneous items that should be of interest to most folks. We also have SmartFob information to share. There's a vehicle availability user view that is a new feature with this upgrade. And then we'll provide a summary, and we will talk about the tools for success that we have available while we support y'all through your journey with Fleet Commander. So a little background about this conversion. So beginning we started with the 5.6 and then have culminated this transition, this upgrade transition with 5.13. Fleet Commander technology was upgraded in place in a methodical fashion. The transition of this core application has been completed, and a key goal of the project was to avoid the necessity for our clients to have to undergo any type of major transition to new software platform as we modernized it. Unlike other fleet software vendors, this is unlike other fleet software vendors that have required major transition and even a purchase of their software. So we made this process hopefully fairly transparent to y'all, and we were able to do it behind the scenes while things were transitioning. So the newly upgraded interfaces have a slightly different look, but their functionality is going to remain the same. And then as far as rollout goes for this system, we're currently in our beta testing phase. We will be doing another subset of clients before the end of the month, and then we should start upgrading remaining clients sometime around mid-June. Clients are going to receive email communication from us before and after the upgrade has happened. So there will be ample communication as we're moving through this process about where you stand on your upgrade to the 5.13 version of Fleet Commander. All right, so next we're going to get into some of the things that have changed in the software. So first we're going to look at the .NET specific changes, and related to that, the user search changes. So the user search pop-up encountered when assigning or changing the driver of a reservation has been modified. This is going to affect 3 different windows within your Fleet Commander view. So you're going to see it in the vehicle dispatch window, the reservation modify request, and quick picks. So we're going to look at each. This first one that we have an example of is the vehicle dispatch window. So as an administrator can change the driver on the reservation by clicking the change link next to the driver's name. So you can see where that arrow points to that change button on the far right of that driver name. Then in the modify request screen, you're going to see through manage reservations, the administrator can change the driver on the reservation by modifying the reservation and clicking the driver's user ID link, which is next to the username, to search for and select that driver. So that's the second place that that change can be seen. And then we also have it in the quick pick section. So when doing a quick pick reservation, the driver can be assigned by clicking the driver's user ID link next to the driver's username, then searching for and selecting the driver. So when clicking either the change or driver's user ID link, a user search box will pop up, allowing the administrator to search for and select the driver. And this is what it looks like when you're in that quick pick screen. The .NET user search box is going to be somewhat different in its form and function, and we're going to describe these changes in the following sections. So okay, so at the top of the search box is going to be a page box and the page arrows. You'll see the red boxes around that section. You can click on the previous or next arrows to go back or forth through the users, and you can also type a specific page number in the page box and press enter to go to a specific page of users. So if you've got many pages, you can type it and go straight there. The items per page dropdown also allows the results to be displayed in 5, 10, 25, or 50 users per page. The default is going to be 25, but you can click that little drop-down arrow as shown in the second red box, and then select one of those 4 options to make that adjustment. Then we also have filter funnels are present in the username, first name, and last name columns. So that's an addition. You can click on the funnels to open the filter, type in the desired value to search for, and then click filter. And so in the top screenshot, we're showing where the filters are located. And then in the second screenshot, you can see what the what that filter and that fill-in typable screen looks like. We also have, by default, the user search box lists users by last name in ascending order, and the sort can be changed by clicking one of the column headers. If you click on the column header once to sort alphabetically, you can sort alphabetically, you can do it in ascending or descending order. You can click the column header a second time, and it'll sort alphabetically in descending order. The up arrow is ascending or the down arrow is descending next to the column header, and that will show how the users are being sorted. So in the top screen where the red box is, it's just showing an example of the last names. You can see the arrows pointing up. So that means it's going in ascending order. And then in the bottom screen, you can see an example where the arrow is pointing to the yellow arrow is pointing to the little arrow that points down next to username. And that is signifying that that is being sorted in descending order. So that's a new option that we did not have before in the software. View and select icons are in the same column to the left of the user. Clicking the view icon, so this is where the magnifying glass is in the little red box off to the left on that first image. It'll pop up the user details. Clicking the select icon, that's the check mark, that changes the driver in the vehicle dispatch window. And then the driver selection is not finalized until either the submit or next continue request button is clicked. And there's no change to this functionality, but those visibility changes are in there. All right, so next we're going to move on to make reservation changes. And again, if you guys have any questions about the information that we're going over, please go ahead and drop it in your chat. Kathy's keeping an eye on it. And then when we get to the bottom of the presentation, we can go through those questions and help answer those. All right, so we're going to move on to make reservation changes. In previous versions of Fleet Commander, the make reservation interface behavior was determined by where the form was accessed. So therefore, that meant the interface was accessed via the left-hand navigation on the welcome page. As we've made this transition, the requester would, before the transition, the requester would have the user-only experience and be unable to bypass validation constraints, even though they may have administrator permissions. So now a user with administrator permissions making a reservation via the left-hand side can still see their administrator functions while doing that. So that's an upgrade that we've got in this new system. Administrators don't need to toggle between the user screen and the administrator screen to be able to make reservations from an administrative function standpoint. When making a reservation, the first screen will now have you choose the user type and site instead of first selecting the driver. With requesters now picking the user type and site first, then selecting the drivers, this is going to ensure only drivers with the correct site permissions and usage types are available for selection. So it's not a big change, but for your users that are very repetition focused, that they do the same thing every time, and if something gets moved out of place, you may get some questions about that. All the same information is being recorded. We've just switched up the order a little bit to help ensure that the right permissions are hit and selected and fall in place throughout their reservation selection process. So it just makes it a little cleaner for making sure that all the right criteria is selected, but you will see a slight change there. Oh, sorry, hold on. Where did I go? All right, so then within make reservation changes, the cancel request button has been removed from both the usage type and site selection and the driver selection interfaces. So these are just examples of what both of those screens look like. Previously, there had been an option to cancel the request, and we just moved that feature because it's not really the right place for that. So that's been removed. We've also, so prior to 5.13, when making a reservation for another driver, the requester could either enter the username of the driver in the request is for driver text box, or click the search for driver link to pop up a user search window where the driver could be searched for and selected. So this is what it currently looks like for most of our users. This is the old version. And then there's going to be a slight change to this. These have been replaced with a single select a driver combo box. So this the driver's name or username can be entered into the box and selected in the results, or use the drop-down arrow and scroll to the desired driver. So it's a little bit more robust, and there's a little bit more information that shows up as you're clicking those selectable items now. All right, we've also changed the reservation detail form. Several changes have been made to this form. The first one is requester information header has been changed to requester and driver. So you see that by the little arrow that says 1, it's labeled. The user ID has been changed to username. And then that's labeled with a 2. The driver text box and change driver links have been replaced with a combo box, as referenced in the previous slide. We've also changed type to asset type, and this is for consistency purposes across the platform. Department dropdown has been replaced with another combo box, and the cancel request button has been removed from this screen. In the confirm request page, the changes that we've see there, hold on, sorry guys, got a little click happy. Buttons have been changed here as well. So the submit and make similar request button no longer shows on this page. It has been moved to the request complete page. And then the cancel button has been renamed cancel or start over, but the functionality remains unchanged for that button. So just cleaning up some of the wording and then putting items where it makes more sense for the flow of the process for the clients and the end users. On the request complete screen, when a non-administrator clicks the submit request button on the confirm request page, they're directed to the new request complete page where it confirms the reservation has been submitted. The page has 2 action buttons. The first one is manage reservations. Clicking this button takes the user to their My Schedule page where the user's reservations are listed. And then the second one, make a similar request. Clicking this button creates a new request with the form pre-populated with data from the prior reservation. So that's should help with flow a little bit more as folks are going through the reservation process, kicking them to their My Schedule. It'll make some of the users mindful that that's there for them to use. And then it'll make it easier to do multiple reservations if you need to do that as well. All right, so next we're going to move on to layouts. And again, I'm just going to remind everybody, if you've got any questions as we're going through this, we are saving the questions till the end, but please do ask, put them in the chats, and then we will go through them when we are completed. Okay, so we're going to go through layouts. There will be updates required for the layout. So with the release of version 5.13, links in layout texts and emails may need to be updated if they are still pointing to ASP pages or are showing broken links. So references to the old classic ASP interfaces will now need to reference their corresponding .NET interfaces. A broken image or non-functional HTML anchor will need to have its URL corrected. Template layouts are provided for each client when their Fleet Commander site is created. However, since each client modifies the layouts to their specific needs, we can't predict how a client may have altered the layouts, and we may be unable to provide a blanket update for all the links, but we will be here for assistance and guidance as you go through those. So as we go through this, where are the updated links, where to update your links. So first, you're going to be going into enterprise settings, under enterprise and then layouts. And then you're going to make changes there. And then there's also going to be changes under policy, depending on where all of your links go to. And we have on the slide the path to get to those locations. So for both of these, they're going to be under configure, enterprise settings, and then for layout, you'll click layout and policies will be policy. You'll also need to do this on site layouts and kiosk layouts. So similar to enterprise settings, you're going to go into configure, and then you're going to select site settings and layout. And then to update the kiosks within the layout screen, there's a sub navigation for the sites kiosk. That's where the arrow on the bottom is pointing to. You can see that you're in the kiosk tab of layouts, and then you're in the kiosk tab, and then the layout is pointing to that layout. You'll make updates there as well. My schedule URL, this is going to need to be updated as well. Again, our team is going to assist you guys with these and give you the information that you need for updating. We just want to make sure that you are aware at this point of what's going to need to be changed and what type of stuff will need to be changed, so that when we get to the point of rolling this out with you specifically, you kind of have a heads up already and you can get the right people involved for a smooth transition. So my schedule URL will be updated. Again, the location for that is configure enterprise settings reservations, and then that link URL link will be updated. Interfaces with links pointing to legacy ASP pages need to be updated to point to their .NET replacements. For example, instructions page may have a link to the ASP versions of the sign up now page. And these are just examples of what that would look like. So those will need to be changed. These are examples of where you might have some of these items at. And also updated links to broken images. And these, again, are some examples of where you may have broken images because they're linking to the old stuff and need to be fixed to link to the new stuff. So update links to broken images, shows in the layout or on the actual interface. And the arrows are showing those icons that would alert you that it's a broken link. Okay, which links to update? So how to update the layouts. If you still require assistance while we're going through this, when you're going through this, you can schedule time with a member of our FC support team to help you navigate the changes. But the third change that we have is you'll need to update non-functional HTML anchors. This is just pointing to an example of that. So that was the layout section. Some last tidbits of things that are changing that you need to know. We have saved defaults are not going to transfer to .NET interfaces. So if you have customized filters saved as defaults on any of the Fleet Commander interfaces, as they've transitioned over to .NET, you'll need to customize them again and save them as your defaults. So then they just show going forward. It should be like a one-time change. For anything that you have preset, just know that when you go in there, you're going to have to save anything that you had before. The send welcome email passwords are no longer going to be included in the welcome email sent via the send welcome email button in the user's profile. This password token has been removed from the welcome email text used to configure the welcome email. Keybox and kiosk connectivity VPN option is now available, and RFID is now available with the SAML single sign-on. So if you have any need for these or questions or requests or would like more information, please make sure that you reach out to me or Kathy to get that information. We would be more than happy to discuss it specifically with you and give you quotes or anything that you may need to implement those things. We also have an API gateway has been implemented. In the new release, this service is going to provide a few different functionalities. Some of those include search for a user account, read users' profile information, create a new user account, update an existing user account, edit a user's permissions, access groups, and usage types, and delete users. The functionality to this API is going to continue to be enhanced in subsequent Fleet Commander releases. So for this one, the big thing is that it's there. And then there are some minor changes, but then it's going to feed into additional changes that we have as we continue through our scheduled releases that we are working on. We also have some coordinated changes that our team will be reaching out to certain clients for. So payment and product keys, the Fleet Commander support team will coordinate with your team directly on any changes that needed to be made there. So with that, there have been new payment and product key fields added to the system, but do not make any changes on your side until you've spoken with our team. Support, like I said, will reach out to your team directly to coordinate the needed updates for the clients that have that. Kiosk start page URL will change. Again, Fleet Commander support team will send out information on how to change this in KioWare on your kiosk, and a redirect will be in place for a limited time after the site has been upgraded to 5.13. So there will be some time to make that transition and those updates, and our team will work with you on that information. And then last note on coordinated changes, SSO or single sign-on values may need to change, and the Fleet Commander support team will coordinate that with your IT staff if that's going to affect your specific site. All right, so those are the changes that we have specifically related to the .NET rewrite portion of the 5.13 release. Now we're going to go into additional changes. So one of the other changes we have is customer authentication single sign-on logins. So single sign-on logins will now be logged in the system report. So previously you couldn't see those if you were a single sign-on user. Now, if you are a single sign-on user, you will be able to see those logs in that system report. And the location for that report is under reports and statistics. So that's a change that we have there. Also, RFID with single sign-on. Swipe your badge page is now configurable. So this is one where y'all asked for this in our last command, and we listened and we were able to get this integrated into the system. So under the kiosk's layout sub-navigation, a new login text RFID link has been added. That's where that green arrow is pointing in the kiosks tab in that first image in the top left. You can click on the link to edit the text at the bottom of the page and save the changes. And then the text will appear on the swipe your badge page. So the first image is where you go to select it. The second image is an example of what text you can put in that format box. Then once you hit save, the lower image is what your screen will look like when your team or your users go to log into the system. All right, this is another command feature request. So in version 5.12, if a comma was present in a numeric field on the Assets Profile tab, you would not be able to save that profile. So you would need to remove all the commas in order to save it. However, after you save the profile, the comma would show back up. So in version 5.13, the input boxes have been replaced with spin boxes that only accept numbers. You can also increment, decrement the value is using the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard or on the spin box. So you can make it go up and down. But I don't know about you guys, but the comma, that one got me. So I'm happy to see that change. As a previous user, it never failed. I would hit save and go, oh my gosh, okay, I got to go remove that comma. So you won't have to worry about that anymore. All right. We also have GPS Fleet Commander now integrates with the Verizon Connect. Odometer data from vehicles using Verizon Connect devices can be captured into Fleet Commander. So again, this is one of those things, if you're using Verizon Connect and you would like to see how to get that information captured in Fleet Commander for you, reach out to me or Kathy, and then we would be more than happy to discuss that with you and talk about how that integrates and get you a quote for that information. All right. So the next thing we're going to move on to are the SmartFob boxes. So our SmartFob boxes are now available. Benefits of this new style: there's no key to turn and it's easy in and out. So it's a plug. Kathy likes to describe it as a amp plug. It just pushes right in. You don't have to worry about the sticky twist function or any of that stuff that is on the current configuration. You can return this fob to any position. The fobs are generic, so there's no serial number. So if the fob is lost, there's no custom replacement fob that's required. So the part's cheaper and to replace, and they can be interchangeable. So that should help a lot with some of that. The key ring doesn't bind. And then the mail slot no longer has switch in card holder that can get bent and requires replacing. So this image over here is an image of, the image on the left is an image of just the key only box. The image in the middle is the mail slot box. So like I said in the notes, it doesn't have the like clip that the switch for the card holder, but what these do come with is a cord that is just the right size. So if the key is in the box, if you put the card in first and then you put the key in, the card cannot be removed from the box without the key being removed. So it's still protected and secure in the box, just doesn't have that clip on there that holds it in place. And if you guys have any questions about any of this, again, Kathy and I are excited to talk to you guys about this feature. So if you have any questions, requests, or would like quotes on what switching over to this would look like, or putting an additional or new one in any of your locations, we would love to discuss that with you. All right. So now we're going to move on to another feature that we've been able to integrate into the 5.13 release. And that is vehicle availability user view. So users are now going to have the ability to view vehicle availability before even starting the reservation process. So this is like see and select availability during the reservation process, but now it's going to be able to be done without being mid-reservation. The goal of this is to allow users to select accordingly in their reservations and avoid pending reservations due to no vehicles available. So to the left is just an image of what they're going to be able to see once they get all their search criteria set in. And again, this was a feature that was discussed during our last command, and we were able to get that implemented and go with it in 5.13. So this view is going to be located in the vehicle use section. And then on the user side, you're going to set filters. Sorry, the pop-ups keep going over my notes, so I got to keep clearing them so I can see what I got, guys. So when you get on the user side, you're going to set filters. Those filters can be date, site, usage type, and asset type are the starting filters. And then these can also be multi-select within the asset type. So you can pick right now, if you're looking at that top image to the right, it's selected on electric sedan, but you can make it so it's multiple vehicle types within that field. And then once you click your criteria, it'll take you into a chart view that shows what vehicles are available. And then the results, these results are also going to be filtered based on users' permissions, access groups, and usage types. And then from this screen, you'll hit change filters. And you can hit change filters and it'll give you additional filters that you can go through. Additional filters are available for use and they include location, kiosk, make, model, occupancy, and then there are some custom fields. Those can be examples of those could be destination and they can be used to help people coordinate carpooling. So we've got several different options that can be put in there. Once you've done your or additional filters, you'd hit apply filter in the bottom right hand corner of that screen. And then the grid will show up again of vehicle availability. And then once you select your vehicle, it'll go into the reservation form, but pre-populate some of the information and details so that you can fill in the rest to complete that request. And again, all of this is very similar to the reserve vehicle function, but it all can be done outside of the reserve a vehicle process. Again, this is going to update in real time and it's going to refresh as you see the newly approved reservations. So this is showing an example. In the first one, there wasn't one there. They put in a reservation in, and now you can see that second reservation dot on the availability screen. There are even more changes. So this is just an overview of the changes that we currently have in place. Some other changes that you're going to see in this 5.13 release, we have TCO posting utility. There's bug fixes. So some of those little quirks and issues that people might have seen and that we've had to do workarounds on. There are several of those changes within the release, and there's other stuff as well. We will be sending out the release notes, so make sure you read those release notes for the full details on everything that is covered in this 5.13 update. Right. So then next, we are going to move on to tools for success at Agile Fleet.
Thank you, Kristen. Great job. Can everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Awesome. So lots of great stuff going on. So it's exciting. And what I'm really excited about too is the fact that once this release goes out, our releases are going to be more on a quarterly basis now. So they're going to be a lot faster. So that's super exciting. First of all, just want to thank you for your partnership. There's a whole team. Kristen and I get to see you the most often, and we're blessed to be able to see you every month. But just a shout out for our whole Agile Fleet team. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that make this happen, and the programmers and developers and so forth. The support line and so forth, which I have them on another chat right now on some of these questions to make sure I'm answering correctly. And we're going to go through your questions in a little bit. But we do have some time available now that we're going to go through some other things first. So we have not forgot your questions and we will continue to answer those. Getting help. So number one, getting help. We just want to make sure that everybody is familiar with both client success and the support line. So to reach Kristen or I, you can reach us both at a joint email of cs@agilefleet.com. Otherwise, you can personally reach us at the K. Sonderman at Agile Fleet or the K. Wellick. So we're K to the second degree, I guess, here in client success. K to the 2.
Double trouble.
That's right. There you go. I know I personally prefer going to the personal email just because that's one that's always constantly popping up for me. So thank you for that. But we also have a support team, right? So a bunch of those folks that you saw in that previous photo, are part of the support team, and they do a magnificent job of behind the scenes, testing and answering questions and testing and answering more questions and figuring more stuff out. So it's really important that you have the support information as well. So little questions about these, or if you run into a situation where it's not quite working, FC support at agilefleet.com is a lifesaver. It is manned 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I tell you, we are truly blessed with some true rock stars that have been there quite a while. Some have previously been clients as well. And they know their stuff and they're able to help you quickly and efficiently. If you prefer a phone call method, which some people still prefer, I get that. You can reach out at 571-498-7555, extension 2. Next, we do have lots of different resources as well, but I wanted to go over these. I know a lot of you have seen them many times for those of you that join Workshop Wednesday every month, but we have a lot more people on today for the actual release. So just want to remind people, agilefleet.com has a lot of different resources. There's user groups, case studies, white papers, peer sharing. We also have FC Drive, and FC Drive is the knowledge base that clients can use. You can access that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Type in your question and it will come up with different articles and how-tos. And there's also how-to videos on there as well. So really short 2 to 5 minute videos to explain how to do things. So if you maybe forget how to add a user because you don't have to do it very often, or need to set up a certain setting, you can look it up in there and you can find it quickly and efficiently. And I'm a more visual learner, so I like going that way because I have all the screenshots then that assist me. Then we also have our YouTube channel. All of our previous Workshop Wednesdays are there. Lots of training videos are there. So feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. All right, this is where you're supposed to get your phones out, folks. I want to talk a little bit about Command 2025. So Command 2025 is going to be hosted by the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I do believe Miss Melina is on the call, who is our hostess for this year, so thank you for that. The conference is going to be October 7th through 9th, 2025. The big thing here is early bird registration ends May 31st of 2025. So that is coming up in just 10 days. So if you are going to go, I highly encourage you to either click that link and register when you get this PowerPoint, or to go to that QR code and it will take you right to the information right now so you can get signed up. There's going to be 2.5 days of educational sessions, networking, peer-to-peer learning. That schedule is going to be coming out today or tomorrow. I apologize, that's on me. Anna is waiting to send it out. I have a final schedule I'm giving her that I need to have to her today. But watch your inboxes because that will be coming soon. And we've got lots of great stuff. Plus, this is our 25th anniversary, so our silver anniversary of the company. So we have lots of fun surprises planned out for you. So you really want to attend if you can. The hotel is right next to the conference center, so it's very walkable. If it's raining, there's tunnels. If it's sunshiny, you can go outside. You shouldn't have to rent a car or anything like that. You should be able to just Uber from the airport to the hotel, the graduate hotel, and easily be able to get to where the conference is as well. If there's any questions on Command, you can ask those in the chat as well. And or reach out to Kristen or I, and we're happy to do so. And like I said, the details as far as the different sessions and so forth will be coming out in the next couple days. So Anna, I know, has it all ready to go as soon as I drop her the final agenda. Workshop Wednesday, Kristen talked to us about Workshop Wednesday in the beginning, third Wednesday of the month. So our next one is going to be June 18th, 2025. And we are going to talk about custom reservation forms and kiosks for smarter fleet management. So we're going to take you through how to design reservation forms tailored to your organization's needs. We'll work on step-by-step setup for the kiosk interfaces for streamlined vehicle checkouts, any best practices from different clients that we've learned and how we've set things up, and tips, to boost your automation and reduce those manual processes. So whether you're a government fleet, campus fleet, corporate motor pool, we will have something for you in this next month's session. So please join us June 18th. You can mark your calendars now. And that information as well to sign up will be coming shortly in the next couple days with the rendering of this month's episode here of Workshop Wednesday and the PowerPoint. Also share your success. One thing I love so much about the user conference, the command, is that we get to have different clients speak as well. And I know that's one of your guys' favorite topics. With that, we're going to have a lot more speakers of different clients this year. Super excited. I've reached out to many of you, others of you. You will be hearing from me in the next few days as to where I think it would be fantastic if you would assist us in a couple of the sessions and so forth. If anybody wants to volunteer to be a part of a session, please feel free to let me know. Your success helps others. And we here at Agile in our client success department and marketing, we want to be able to help you tell your story and share the great things that you're doing, whether it be with your users, your drivers, whether it be with your management, whomever you need to share your story with. We are happy to help you with PowerPoint slides, with running reports to help you calculate your savings and so forth. Anything we can do to help you, or if you're willing to do a white paper, we would love to do that. I know Anna really loves to hear what you're doing and write about it, and she's a very talented writer that just brings that whole story to life. And we can have that for you that you can be proud of as well, to be able to share with your users and your management. We're social. Feel free to connect with us on the different platforms. So we're on LinkedIn, X, Facebook, YouTube. I still want to say Twitter, even though it's X. So you can tell what age group I maybe am compared to my daughters, right?
You're in good company, Kathy.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and also take your cameras out one more time as well, if you don't mind, please, and thank you. And some of you have been doing this the last couple months, and we truly appreciate this, because this helps Kristen and I so much. I mean, we have to report, what we're doing, what we're teaching you guys and so forth, and gals. We have to know what we're doing. We have to, score have certain scores to meet and so forth. And you responding to the survey really helps us in that scoring. So we obviously hope that, you can score Agile Fleet Commander as a 9 or a 10. If you can't, Kristen and I really need to know why. What can we do better to make you feel comfortable in the system that you have? Because it's a very powerful system that can do so much for your fleet. So if you can please take a minute before we thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. From last month. Gotcha. Anna, that's something we might need to take a look at. So it says he's already responded because he responded last month. So we might need a fresh URL on the next PowerPoint. We might have copied and pasted that. Thank you, Ray, for letting me know that. For any of the rest of you, again, if you can open that up, let us know how we're doing because we want to make it better for you. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that thumbs
Thanks
up.
for the
See,
attempt, Ray.
that's right. That is a good
And the
partner right
and the
there.
consistent
Love
feedback.
it.
Love it.
I love it. Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up for those of you that might be still getting your smartphones out
Oh, sorry.
to be
Going
able to
back.
do that. But you are welcome, Sammy. But I'm going to go to the questions now. Okay. And I've been answering some of them along the way, but I'm going to start at the top and we're going to answer these questions. I'm going to read them out loud so everybody can hear them and see the answer. And we do have a couple more staff members in the wing who have been the ones doing the testing and so forth. So for any questions that Kristen or I can't answer, we have the experts in the back here that are helping us along. So thank you, Ian and Helen, who have been back here messaging with me to make sure that I give you all the latest and greatest information. So Mike Wilson, first of all, congratulations on retirement. I hear you're retiring next month. Sad for you to be leaving, but you've left behind a legacy. So thank you for that. It's been an honor to work with you, Mike. So Mike asks, can we delay the upgrade if we want to for a week or two? And the answer is yes. We can certainly work with you on the dates. So when the information comes out, you just need to let us know and we can make adjustments as needed for that. Because this one is going to take a little bit of time to set up the links and so forth. So it's not going to just be everybody overnight. So great question, Mike. Renee, if you only have one site, will it default to that site? And the answer is yes, it should default to that one site if you only have one site set up in your system. All right, next question. Can we get an API document for the available APIs? And yes, I will be sending that to you. Kristen or I will send that personally to you. So if there's anybody else that wants the API document, please go into the message, the chat, put your email and say, please send API document, or personally email Kristen or I, and we will send that to you. And Kristen, I have the link for that. So, but we don't want to put it in the chat because it's a little more complicated than just sending you the document. Okay.
Yep.
Lewis, can I get the swipe your badge set up on your system? Yes, Lewis, you are one of my clients, and I'm going to reach out to you about that. And you also wanted to know about the SmartFob. And so I will be able to reach out to you about that as well. Greg Burris, you asked a great question about the SmartFob boxes. Just to let everyone know, at this time, with the SmartFob boxes, they cannot be daisy chained. So those of you that have daisy chains, you will have to stick to the key set, or the other way you can do it is the SmartFob ones. Those boxes do hold more sets of keys and fobs. So you can fit more in a box. I do know that, some people are concerned maybe about how much you can fit in there. That picture that we showed actually, I believe, is a condensed version. And so ours, we're not selling the condensed. Ours will be spread out just a little bit more than that. They won't be that tight together. But you will be able to hold more sets of fobs and keys in a standard size box than what you can with the lock, because it's much more efficient and smaller territory by having the fuel card vertical instead of horizontal, and B, just having that plug instead of the whole key setup. So that is what we can do for that right now. SmartFob, can the user availability be shut off? We can make it so yes, it can be shut off. We just basically won't put it in your navigation. We cannot add it if you don't want it. That is not a problem. So a couple people asked that. Great questions there. Sammy said Christmas came early, so yes, Merry Christmas, Sammy, and Happy New Year. If no vehicles are available, will the system deny the reservation automatically? So this is one I need help from the background. Ian or Helen? I don't know if they are still on. I have a feeling they might have dropped because I know a couple of them have another meeting. Ray, I'm going to have to get back to you on that. And what we can do is, for everybody's sake, when Anna sends out, let's see, hold on just a second. When Anna sends out the information and the links this month, we can send out these questions and answers. I think that would be a good way to do it for those that I can't answer right now. Can the admin view for vehicle availability be a monthly view, not just weekly? I don't know that the screen is big enough for that. I'll have to follow up on that. I apologize. I think Ian, like I said, Ian and Helen, I do believe dropped off. And they've been in the testing phase for that. Thank you, Ray, for your feedback. Julia, we will get back to you on that question. Sammy, thank you. We appreciate it. Love you back. Lewis, yes, we will send API documents as well. Greg, if you please remind me of the dates that go live for when this new version will begin. I missed the beginning of the webinar. So some clients are in beta right now, and through some more beta testers are going to be coming on through the end of June. Or end of May, excuse me, and then mid-June is when we'll start to roll it out. But you will get notification before and notification after to make sure that you're well aware before it happens. Ray, the issue is folks submitting reservations though they know a vehicle isn't available. Gotcha. Helen is typing back to me as we speak. And yes, I hear you. One reason, Ray, why they might still be able to, and like I said, I'm going to have to ask them on that. Thank you, Chris, for joining us. Appreciate it. I'm going to have to check on that because, Ray, some clients too want them to still be able to make a reservation, and then they'll assign them a different type of vehicle. So like if a car is not available, they might move some reservations around, or they might also give them a different type of vehicle or get them an enterprise vehicle. So Ray, I'm going to have to get back to you on that because I don't want to lead you astray. I want to make sure exactly how it's working. Okay, if that's fair. Okay. All right. I appreciate your patience and grace there because, like I said, I'd rather give you the right answer and give it to you in a little bit later and the right answer than give you the wrong answer. So thank you. All right. Well, with that being said, it's 2 minutes after. Kristen, great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you.
for attending. And I want to kind of we've got a team, Kathy's already said this. I just want to reiterate it. The team that we've got supporting us, we're the ones that get to share this great news with you guys, but the team is the one that has really spent all the time and energy putting this into place, troubleshooting, working out all of the little bugs that pop up when you change a period or just one little thing. And so we've just got an amazing team that we get to work with that puts this product together for y'all. We're just the fortunate ones that get to talk to you about it. So I wanted to put that shout out there again to the team that we have working with us on all of this stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Hopefully we will see you at Command. So Command, again, early bird is May 31st is the expiration of early bird. So if you know you're coming, please sign up now if possible. SmartFob boxes are on sale through the June 30. They are 10% off. So it's a great way to save some money there as well. If you can get those POs in before June 30. And hopefully you can give us some feedback on Workshop Wednesday. And we will see you next Workshop Wednesday. So thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.